That was your second chance to introduce me, you bastard. I'm Nathan Dunn, ladies and gentlemen. And I like to start my shows with a joke that has no prevalence to anything in my act or otherwise. So for your consideration, this is David Bowie sings the Transformers theme. Transformers, more than meets the eye. Transformers, robots in disguise. Autobots wage the battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons. So, yeah, David Bowie's awesome. Anyway, David Bowie is awesome. I mean, you know, just great music and everything, but like a lot of people in my generation, our generation, I'm not older than you, but anyways, like our generation, a lot of us were probably introduced to him through Labyrinth. Anyone remember that movie? Labyrinth, wasn't that movie awesome? And he was so cool in it. He was turning into owls, and he was being evil and magical. But one of the coolest things was he had those crystals, remember? Yeah. Remember he'd spin those crystals and twirl them around and throw them everywhere? Wasn't that so cool, those little crystal balls? But I found out something. David Bowie actually wasn't doing that. He couldn't do that. He didn't know how, and they were a big important plot device, so they needed them to be done. So what happened was they got a hand stunt to fill in for him. And that blows my mind because I do a lot of acting. So I know when you're in something and it's a big thing, you want all your future potential jobs to know about it. So that guy, that couldn't have been his only movie. So he must have auditioned for a lot of other things, and Labyrinth must have been on his resume. So I can only imagine how that goes when the auditioner looks and says, oh, it says you were in Labyrinth. Wow, what did you do? Were you one of the puppeteers? It's like, no. Oh, well, did you do one of the voices? There were a lot of great voices. No, I didn't. Well, I don't recognize you. What did you do? Oh, well, before every scene, I kneel down in front of David and I juggle his balls for him. and then the auditioner would say, well, we've got Hayden Christensen in this movie, so we've got all the ball juggling we need. Not to pick too much on Hayden Christensen, but, I mean, believe me, if he sucked that bad in the first 2 Star Wars movies, he must have sucked that good at the audition. Yeah! But, like I said, I do a lot of acting, and my last few roles, they've all been kind of really weird. Like, in the summer, I did a show just down at the Soul Invictus. Everyone know that place? Fuck you. But, it's just down on Grand. But it was a show called Frog Woman, and I played a frog, which, by the way, real ballsy move of our director to pick a short, fat guy to play a frog. Wonder if the audience will buy that. But actually, my most recent role, though, was a drag role. It was a drag version of Cinderella. And hold on, it's not like I'm wild about doing drag, but I had a good reason. I did the show for a girl, which, by the way, there are a lot of inappropriate times to hit on a girl, but I found out the time when you're wearing a dress trumps all of it. Just, whatever mojo you have, it's gone after that. But it was a weird experience because wearing a dress for a guy, there's no happy ending for that. Because either A, it's going to look terrible, or B, it's not. And everyone, people from the audience, the rest of the cast, they'd all come. I finally put on my ball gown for the first time. And everyone looks at me and says, oh wow, that dress looks amazing on you. Now, I'll be the first to admit I don't take compliments well. Like my best friend, every time she sees me, she says, oh my God, it looks like you're losing a lot of weight. And sometimes I've lost weight, and sometimes it's nice, but most of the times I haven't. So that means she either is being nice, which isn't an option, this girl is a bitch and a half, or she's just remembering me as fatter than I've ever been. And that doesn't help much. But I am single, ladies and gentlemen. I'll give you a moment to recover from the shock. How could this glorious specimen remain unattained for so long? But somehow it has. But the thing is, I want you to know that I'm not single because there haven't been any opportunities. All the women I know are either, actresses or models or dancers. So believe me, there are plenty of middle child, low self-esteem, daddy issues to be taken advantage of. So it's by choice, because well, frankly, I'm kind of broken, ladies and gentlemen. My ex did a number on me. Fucking whore. No, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. That isn't fair. That's my bitterness sneaking its way through my act, and it's not accurate. I want to be clear. My ex is not a whore. All the countless men she slept with since me, she did it all for free. So she's just a slut. So just a slut. I'm actually a nice guy, so I feel kind of bad about calling my ex a slut on stage, but, well, if the gaping vagina fits. But anyways, but I am single, and like I said, I'm not dating, so a lot of people say, oh, I guess it must partake in a lot of porn, huh? And not really, no. I don't know, porn just doesn't work for me. Because first off, there's just, there's the regular stuff, but beyond the regular stuff, there's all these fetish-themed stuff, and it doesn't work for me. I don't understand them. Like, one of them I don't get is the MILF fetish. Moms I'd like to fuck. Now, I'm not saying that moms can't be sexy. There are plenty of women who have kids, and they are very sexy. And exactly. But anyways. And they're modest too, Sophie. But anyways. But the thing is, the fact that these moms are sexy is incidental to being a mom. I've never met a single guy who's looked at a girl and said, yeah, she's kind of hot. She's kind of hot. Well, guess what? She's got kids. Holy shit! Damn, I gotta get in that. I don't see how it ups the ante at all.
Try costumes.
Costumes? Oh, well, actually, that's a good lead-in for my next one, because one of the other weird ones out there is the furries. Yeah, now I'm not going to make fun of the furries only because I do pretty well with their women, so. Because let's face it, if your thing is you want to fuck an anthropomorphic lion, I'm about as close as you're going to get without so I do pretty well there, and that always leads into bestiality. But